counts before? Because I've never done this.
I've never done it before either.
Okay, well, I guess I'll just wing it. Okay.
So you're supposed to be with Senior Wiener for this, I think?
Yeah, he's not here yet. I've never done this before, and I'm having a bit of a panic attack.
That's why I'm here.
Oh, thank God.
I'll jump in.
Thank you so much.
It's totally cool.
So it's the...
So you want a headset?
Oh, okay.
That'll help us hear each other so we don't talk over each other,
Oh,
too.
cool beans.
Oh, we've got the team.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I just forgot everyone. 49 is not playing, and somebody else from the Rebels is not here.
Your mic's alive.
Did I forget?
Okay. Mike's involved. Check, check. Check, check. Check, check. Do you hear anything?
No.
Check, check.
Okay. Okay. What do we say? Like, I've never really done this.
Sure. So, you want, like, it's okay. So you want me to maybe try to focus on play-by-play? And,
Okay.
And then during the game, you can kind of find things that you'd like to talk about.
Okay.
Like, so like towards the end of the jam, you go, oh, that was great defense. That was like, oh,
Yep.
so-and-so got a penalty for
Oh yeah. Well, I play,
Yeah, exactly.
but I was trying to listen to the broadcast from last year last night, but the first part of it for the first games were cut off, so I have no idea how to start.
Okay. Yes, once we're ready, I can try to lead us in.
Okay.
And if we have time, we can try to do a quick roster read through.
Okay.
Maybe we can do that even between jams if the game starts before we're able to do rosters.
Well, from experience, it usually takes a while to start the first game, so.
Yeah, it looks like you've got a little bit of time.
Yeah, they always have, like, they got to play with the scoreboard beforehand, too. I played the first game of the first jam last year, so.
And I'm sorry, this is the first time. And you are again?
I'm Awesomeness.
Awesome.
Hi.
Remember,
And you are?
Mike's alive. We are streaming.
Oh, okay. Even though we can't hear.
Okay. Can you now hear yourself?
Check, check.
Hello?
Yep.
Your volume controls are over there. If the headphones are too loud, there's a volume control to adjust it. Okay.
Okay, good morning and welcome to Ted Reeve Arena in Toronto, Ontario. My name's Mr. Whistler.
And I'm Awesomeness.
And this is going to be the first game of the day at Ted Reeve Arena of the Fresh and Furious 2016. Currently, teams are warming up, aren't quite ready to get going. So, Awesomeness, perhaps we can get a quick run-through of the team rosters.
On the Cannondalls, we have number 101, Betty Rock, 224, Alice Malice, 3, Feminist Killjoy, 32, David, 67, Bella and Seblastin, 6854, Hammer, 72, Rosa Deadman, and 86, Jagged Little Kill, and 88, KT Calamite.
It's KT Calamity.
Oh.
Quite possibly. So Cannonball Dolls from Capital City in Ottawa, Ontario. They will be wearing green. And in the black, the Rebels. Sorry, I'm just getting to my page here. The Rebels from Roller Derby Sherbrooke in Sherbrooke, Quebec. Number 149, Pat Petit. Number 23, Casey Jones. Number 338, Hunter. Number 47, Jet Rutul. Forgive me if I'm mispronouncing. I didn't have a chance to speak with the teams. Number 487, Cherry Bone Shaker. Number 5, Valentine. Number 728, Matricule. 83 Vargus and 89 Dr. Madness. Working the bench for the Rebels would be Can't See Me and Terrible.
It's Elbow.
Uh-huh. So we're just getting our feet under us here in the early going here. This is an annual tournament held by the GTA RollerGirls here in Toronto, seeing fresh meat skaters who are with less than 12 months or less of actual skate time under their belts. So it's an opportunity for people to see what they've got to offer and where they're going to take it.
Definitely, yeah. A lot of the girls, the most experienced of them, probably have only started in January. So a few of them haven't even played games yet, so this will be the first time on the track officially. A lot of our girls are very fresh. Some of them are just coming out of their fresh meet in April, so.
It's very exciting. We've seen skaters in the past make their debuts here at Fresh and the Furious and move on to stellar careers, so no doubt today we will be seeing somebody taking those first steps as well.
It looks like we're about to begin the game here.
Of course, you are watching this on layer9.ca, brought to you by Mr. Force and all the good people of the layer9.ca crew. Thank you to Mr. Force for once again putting together a stellar production. He says before the production really gets underway, we're hoping this will continue to be a stellar production. It always is. So we are positioned at turn 1 of the track, which means we don't have the best view of who is lining up on the Mill Street start line, but they are underway. And as the skaters come around past turn 1, quickly picking up lead for the Cannonball Dolls is Belen Sebastian, wearing the star for Les Rebelles. It's number 89, Dr. Madness. Still trying to get around between turns 1 and 2. A very quick scoring pass there for Capital City.
It looks like the Rebels jammer still hasn't made it. Oh, no, she's made it through her initial pass now, so she will be scoring points her next time around.
Capital City taking the front on the far straightaway. And quick work being made of the pack there again by Belen Sebastian. Approaching the back of the pack, but calls it. 9 points on the opening jam. And of course, these are abbreviated games at this tournament, much like Beast of the East, that Montreal Roller Derby hosts every year. These are 20-minute games. So the modified rules for the 20-minute game: 4 penalties for a foul out, 2 team timeouts rather than 3, and a single official review per game, I should say. Jammer refs will swap roles roughly at the 10-minute mark as the game allows.
As they explained to many of the freshies, it's like cutting a regular game in half. And it looks like number 5 has made it as lead.
Yep, that would be Valentine of Les Rebelles. So first lead jammer of the game for Roller Derby Sherbrooke.
And it looks like number 83.
It'll be 88s.
80.
Yeah, the 8s and the 3s on the arms looking very similar here at trackside.
Yeah.
So some points come in on that jam for Sherbrooke. 3 points to be exact. So it's a 9-3 lead for Capital City after 2 jams.
And they're lining up for their 3rd jam. Switching around panties at the last minute.
Yeah, we saw a pivot cover get thrown over back to the bench by Sherbrooke as their pivot from the previous jam is sitting in the penalty box. So it's a 4-3 pack advantage right now for Capital City. Capital City with a diamond up at the front, trying to hold the Sherbrooke jammer back, and that allows their own jammer to get through. And that appears to be number 32, David.
And coming around for Cannon City is their jammer on a scoring point pass, number 32, David.
Gets taken out at turn 2 by Dr. Madness, calls it from the ref lane. puts up 4 points, but Sherbrooke stealing a single. And that'll make our score 13-4 after 3 jams.
The Cannondalls seem to favor the Blocktopus up at the front, holding on to the pivot line. Kind of an advanced move for freshies.
Bell and Sebastian on the inside line. Way is shut, has to go back. Wearing the star for Capital City. Wearing the jammer star for Sherbrooke, it appears to be number 47, Jetratul.
Looks like it's going to be a power jam for the Cannondalls.
Jetratul with a track cutting penalty at the inside of the apex between turns 1 and 2. Bell and Sebastian going inside to outside to inside. Just gets around number 23, Casey Jones.
And she's through.
So there's a grand slam for the team in green.
One of the blockers returning onto the track or coming around for a penalty. And the Rebels jammer is back on the track.
I believe still has to complete an initial pass, and that's what that was there. So as the initial pass gets completed, Capital City calling it with another 5-point pass. That's a 10-point jam for Capital City, and that'll take them to 23. Sherbrooke 4, 15 minutes left in the game.
A little last-minute shuffling on the Rebels' part. Both teams have 1 blocker each in the box, and it looks like the Rebels are through. Number 89, Dr. Madness, going through. And the Cannondalls also out, number 88, Calamity.
Dr. Madness, though, with about a half-lap advantage right now, comes around the back of the Sherbrooke pack, taking the outside line.
And
knocked
calling.
To the outside at turn 3, but calls it with a 3-0 jam. Sherbrooke inching closer to the double-digit mark.
The Cannondalls setting out number 32, David, as their jammer. And the Rebels with 1 blocker in the box, setting up near the back line. And the Cannondalls, again, forming the Blocktopus in the front. They seem to be holding on well to the Rebels' jammer. And their jammer is through, number 32, David. And there goes the Rebels. She's going to the penalty box. It is now officially a power jam for the Cannondalls.
Meanwhile, the jammer for Capital City, David, gets knocked to the infield, has to recycle and go to the back, running into Metricul on the outside. On the power jam now, and this is the first 5-point pass. Should have time for another pass before the power jam ends.
She's approaching the line, and she's through quite fast.
Yeah, Capital City going for passive offense here, trusting their jammer, and David taking full advantage of that. A second consecutive 10-point jam for Capital City. So with 12.5 minutes left on the period clock, looks like Sherbrooke is going to take a team time out, so that'll stop the clock at 12:35. Capital City at 33, Sherbrooke at 7. And as you already noted, we've seen some fairly advanced both offensive and defensive moves here from Capital City in the early going.
Yes, I noticed that the Cannondalls were using the Blocktopus, which is a unique move where it's kind of like what we call the diamond in the front, and except of having a back end or a dangle, as you would say, they form a circle together and they rotate between, trying to keep the jammer from passing.
Yeah, I like the description of it as the Blocktopus. It's almost like the tentacles, the little suction cups. It's very sticky, very hard to get around that.
It is, and when it's executed right, it's really hard to get by. So, kudos to them for being able to do that, especially being fresh. And it looks like the Rebels will start off with their jammer in the box, and the Cannondalls are going to be starting with one blocker in the box as well.
Yeah, both skaters are standing, so they have brief time left in the penalty box, but it is a power start for Capital City. They're sending number 88, KT Calamity, to the Mill Street start line.
It looks like they're just trying to break up any line to form so that their jammer can get through almost instantly.
There's the sweep from Capital City. However, the door gets closed by Dr. Madness. Now KT Calamity has a couple of skaters to get through. Power Jam is over, and in fact, it looks like we've got Casey Jones, the jammer for Sherbrooke, returning from the box and picking up lead.
She's now on her turning pass, and if she can get around the Cannondalls, she will pick up 4 points.
And she's on a power jam of her own. Missed the hand signal, unfortunately, on what happened with KT Calamity. But Casey Jones in the driver's seat now, recycled through the infield, takes the long way around the back, trying to come up the outside line, switching towards the inside. There's a big mess of green there, having to get around at turn 3.
It looks like the Rebels are trying a passive-aggressive move by staying at the back of the pack, letting the pack stretch itself out enough to call a no-pack situation. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like it worked. Their jammer got hit out in time, and the Cannondalls jammer is back through.
So that was just the initial pass. Lead status is in the hands of Casey Jones, very emphatically calling it at turn 4. And is able to get 4 points on that jam, so that'll take the Rebels to 11, Cannondalls at 33, so a 3-to-1 ratio on the scoreboard, 11 minutes left on the period clock.
They still have a chance to turn it around as long as they can get some scoring passes in. As we see in Derby all the time, it may look like you're losing, but you can pick it back up in only a few minutes. The Rebels jammer tries to sneak past on the outside line, but the Cannondalls jammer gets out first. She's number 67, Bella Sabanton.
Meanwhile, number 5 is Valentine, wearing the star for Sherbrooke, knocked out and recycled between turns 1 and 2, still trying to complete that initial pass.
Looks like she tried to use one of her blockers to almost cannonball her way in through the pack, but unfortunately they failed. Getting knocked out and trying to get back in there again. Number 67 hit out as well. Trying to just push their way through the pack. Looks like the Rebels jammer's getting pretty tired of pushing there.
Speaking of pushing, the pivot for Sherbrooke taking a back blocking penalty, taking a seat in the penalty box. Another blocker heading to the box right now for Roller Derby Sherbrooke, and that's number 149, Pat Petit. So Sherbrooke bleeding blockers, but still doing a masterful job of causing some resistance for Bell and Sablash. And there's another scoring pass, though, and this is turning into a big one for Capital City.
Their jammer is coming back around, and she's back through. She's going to pick up a lot of points this round. Looks like the Rebels jammer, number 5. She's not. It looks like she's going for a panty pass, actually, which was successful.
Yeah, she was starting to look a little gassed, needed to get some relief. Hands off to the pivot. The pivot, I believe, was number 487, Cherrybone Shaker. Unable to catch the pack, though, with the star on the helmet, so no points come in for Les Rebelles. But it looks like we've had a 22-point jam there for Capital. No, there's more points being added as we speak. There's the 23rd, a 23-0 jam.
Wow.
For Bell and Sebastian, putting up some big numbers. And now Capital City is going to call a team timeout. That'll stop the clock with just over 8 minutes left on the period clock. There's a full day's worth of derby happening here at not only Ted Reeve Arena, but also next door in the bubble. Coming up next here on this track at 11:40 Toronto time, the Smash Squad of Montreal Roller Derby will be taking on the Deadly Viper Assassination Squad from Toronto Roller Derby.
That'll sure to be an exciting match.
It always is whenever you have a Montreal-Toronto matchup at any level, and the fresh level is no exception.
Looks like the girls are just getting some water, getting a few pep talks.
It gets very warm in this arena in the summer.
Oh, yes. I was here last year, and it was so hot that day. I think it was over 30 degrees, and then we were in here, and it was even hotter in the bubble. I remember having to change jerseys in between because it was just so hot. We were all soaked with sweat. Not just for the players, but the spectators, too, as well, were just drenched.
Almost makes you hope they could keep maybe just a little bit of the ice on the floor in here, like maybe just at the end.
Kind of, yeah.
Although we'd have a river of it in this temperature. Jam underway. Capital City taking the back wall, and they just leave just a bit of an opening for their jammer, number 32, David, to get through, colliding with Casey Jones, the pivot of Sherbrooke. But lead jammer going to Capital City. Meanwhile, number 89, Dr. Madness, taking a track cutting penalty to the penalty box. Another power jam for Capital City.
It looks like the Rebels are trying to also do the block-to-puss up front. Very popular move in this game. Unfortunately, they got split up, and the jammer was able to go through. It looks like the Cannon Dolls are, again, either planning to do a no-pack situation or maybe a sweep. Nope, definitely a sweep. And for those of you who don't know, a sweep is when the girls then line up and the jammer picks a side and they come in and they literally sweep the other team to one side to let their jammer through.
May have been some miscommunication on that sweep, though, because it looks like David went in the same direction as the black blockers were swept towards. So they all kind of got tangled up on the inside line. Net result, though, on that jam, though, was still 5-0 in favor of Capital City. They're up 63-11. Less than 7 minutes remain. Winner of this game, by the way, will continue to play at 1:40 here in Ted Reeve Arena, and they will face the winner of the next game between the Smash Squad and the Divas.
The Rebels jammer trying to push her way through, almost there. So number 88 gets lead jammer, and she's out. That is Calamity, KT Calamity. She's been doing really well this game, too, as well. I see her get through the pack a lot quicker than some of the other girls and taking a lot of points this game.
Got good head of steam with that jammer, powerful strides. Number 47, Jet Ratul, wearing the star for Sherbrooke, is going to take it to the penalty box for a track-cutting penalty.
That means it's a power jam for our Cannon Dolls. Probably going to pick up a lot of points, too.
If what's happened thus far in this game is any indicator, yes, but...
Oh.
No, KT Calamity decides she has enough, calls it from her knees on the infield.
Looking pretty winded, too.
Well, in this this hot, humid weather, a lot of this is like skating uphill, I believe.
Oh, it is.
Just imagine if this was on a bank track. We've got both teams kind of lining up very close to the Mill Street start line, but the bookends from Capital City and a 3+1 blocking formation from Sherbrooke in the middle. Unable to shut the door, though, on number 67, Belen Sebastian. Belen Sebastian picking up lead jammer on the power jam. Now have the Sherbrooke jammers standing, but plenty of time to try to execute at least one scoring pass. Taken over the line by Hunter, number 338.
Looks like there might have been a little bit of miscommunication there. Looks like they were attempting a sweep. And the Rebels jammer is now out of the box and pushing her way through the pack. This will be her initial pass for this jam.
See matricule number 728 from Sherbrooke for going to the penalty box for a direction of gameplay penalty during that jam.
Calling another timeout.
Yeah, it looks like Les Rebelles taking the second of their 2 available team timeouts. So that's going to stop the clock with 4:02 left. As mentioned, the winner of this game will continue to play at 1:40 today. They will take on the winner between Smash Squad and the Divas. The team that does not win will still live to fight another day, and they will return to the track at 2:20 p.m. here, and they will take on the team that does not win between the Divas and the Smash Squad. So that'll be at 2:20.
And as long as they make it through that game, they will also move on to the next round.
That's right. It's a double elimination tournament. So anybody who loses their opening game gets another shot to keep going if they win their second. But lose your first 2, and you are done for the weekend.
The Cannon Dolls taking the front wall.
And they're sending a new jammer to the Mill Street start line. That's number 224, Alice Malice. Wearing the star for Sherbrooke is number 89, Dr. Madness. Dr. Madness cutting the track. Almost had lead jammer status. Winced as she cut the track. I think she knew that that call was coming. So another power jam here for Capital City.
And as Alice Malice, the jammer for the Cannon Dolls, comes up, she gets by easily. It looks like 2 of the Rebels blockers are also in the box at once. So they only have 2 on the track right now. Malice trying to pick up some speed, trying to get back around the track. The pack going pretty fast.
Yeah, Pat Petit and Cherry Bone Shaker, the lone blockers up front for Sherbrooke. Nicely executed takeout. Alice Malice recycled, falls to the knees, calls it from the track. No further points, but it was another 5-0 pass. Official review now being signaled by Les Rebelles. If we are able to find out what the nature of the review is, we will communicate that to you.
Looks like the Cannon Dolls already celebrating their victory out there on the track, getting a little excited.
Well, don't count your derby chickens before they hatch. But with 2:51 on the clock and a 68-point lead, they do need to feel somewhat confident. Unless something changes as a result of this review, it will be another power start for the Cannon Dolls. As we do have Dr. Madness still in the box for that track cut that was picked up in the previous jam. Officials now conferring at the center of the track.
Oh, so it's like a 15-minute break.
Yeah. 20 minutes. I was lying.
Wait, in total? Hi, Mom.
Neil Gunner in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Still waiting to see what happens with this review. And we're also going to see how on schedule we stay, because we did get this initial game underway just a little bit on the late side. And Game 2 here in Ted Reeve is scheduled to kick off 7 minutes from now. But don't be alarmed if it maybe starts a couple of minutes late, since both teams will need to get their warm-ups in. But we also need to keep everything on schedule, because it's a long day here at Ted Reeve Arena. We'd like to thank St. John's Ambulance. St. John's Ambulance providing the medical crews on site in both arenas all day long. So thank you to St. John's Ambulance. Let's hope we don't need you.
Oh, there's always 1 or 2 injuries.
So listening in on what we were hearing from the house announcing here, the review that was called by Sherbrooke, they were trying to get a track cutting penalty issued to the Capital City Jammer for the re-entry on the end of that jam.
I did notice that it did look like she had cut the track and then called it, but...
But the officials discussed and determined that no infraction was there to be called, so the no call stands, and as a result, Sherbrooke does not retain their official review. So 2:51 on the clock. Score remains 79 for Capital City, 11 for Sherbrooke. And again, this will be a power start, seeing Capital City lining up Bell and Seblastian, number 67, with the Jammer Star on the Mill Street start line. And we do have the bookends close to the pivot line for the team in green. And that loose 4-wall formation gearing up in the center of the track for Sherbrooke, trying to drive Bell and Seblastian to the outside, unable to do so, staying in the middle, now taken to the outside on the far straightaway, taken back to turn 2. Nice re-entry there from Bell and Seblastian.
The Rebel Jammer, 67, is now lead jammer, of course, and she's coming around the pack for a scoring pass.
But Dr. Madness re-entering the track from the penalty box and cuts the track.
Yeah.
So going right back from when she came, that's going to fill the box for Sherbrooke. Sherbrooke down to just 2 blockers on the track, Casey Jones and Valentine. And now a 5-point pass again for Bell and Seblastian. Bell and Seblastian putting up the majority, I think, of the Capital City points in this game.
It's never a good situation when you only have 2 blockers on the track either.
But a nice takeout there. I do believe that that was courtesy of Casey Jones laying the body on Bell and Seblastian at turn 3. Speaking of Casey Jones, going to the penalty box, quite possibly for that action.
Also number 72 from the Cannondalls, Rosa Deadman, going to the box.
Just over a minute left on the period clock as the jam clock starts to run down. Jam gets called by Bell and Seblastian. 20-point jam, though, 99-11. My announcer math is on point. I'd say that's a 9-1 ratio on the scoreboard.
That's quite the lead.
So an emphatic opening game here, a statement-making game here by the Cannondalls. So they're looking to bring this one home. The officials calling an official timeout. They get as many of those as they like, and even in an abbreviated game.
A lot of timeouts this game, too.
But making sure that all the I's are crossed and the T's are dotted. So that stops the clock with 27 seconds left on it. Oh, they're making a scoreboard adjustment. And they've now put it back exactly where it was, 99-11.
Both teams have a blocker in the box, so they'll have only 3 on the track. This will be the last jam of the game. The Rebels jammer taking the lead. Number 5.
Valentine. And a new jammer with the star for Capital City, number 6854, Emsky Hammer, completing the initial pass. Valentine takes the inside line, putting up a bunch of points in the air. Looks like that's good for 4. Emsky Hammer, though, picking up a grand slam.
She goes to challenge the 2 bracers, and she gets through, scoring 4 points on that last pass, picking up 9 points for the last jam.
And officials are just going to confirm the official score before it goes in the books. Currently showing 106 for the Cannonball Dolls, 19 for Les Rebelles. So Capital City will be back in action at 1:40 this afternoon. Again, they will take on the winner between Montreal Smash Squad and Toronto Roller Derby's Divas. Les Rebelles will return to the track at 2:20, and they will take on the team that does not win between Toronto and Montreal. Officials still going over the points. Seeing the teams take their laps. And it is official. Capital City taking the win, 106-19.
Next up, we do have the Smash Squad versus the...
That'll be the Divas from Toronto Roller Derby. That game was scheduled to start a minute ago, so expect that one will get underway a little bit behind schedule. But do not have an afraid. We will return to the action here at Ted Reeve Arena shortly. Okay, so welcome back to Ted Reeve Arena for Fresh and the Furious. Once again, I am Mr. Whistler.
And I'm Awesomeness.
We'll do some roster run-throughs in between jams. But right now we're looking at the Smash Squad from Montreal Roller Derby in orange and the Deadly Viper Assassination Squad from Toronto Roller Derby in the black. Wearing the star for the Divas, number 6716, Mina Von Teese, but at 626, Drop Stitches, picking up lead jammer for Montreal. Teams setting up at turn 2, back wall for the Divas. Looks like they are going to give up some points. Question is whether or not Mina Von Teese was able to steal any. Was not, so that first jam goes 4-0. Quick run through of the Divas roster. Number 1, XS. Number 1000, Kilohertz. 1013, Virus. 12 is Hellgirl. 181, Professor Vex. 1962, MC Slammer. 2442, Pikachu. 31, Helvetica. Number 6, Starscream. 705, Georgia Grief. 716, Mina Von Teese. 8055, Argyle. 8084, Bubba Fatale. And 813 is H-Bomb. Right off the line, number 00, Kraken Twig from the Smash Squad, knocked to the infield.
But it looks like she gets through to become the lead jammer, while number 8055 takes a penalty.
Yeah, that's Argyle with the track cutting penalty. So this is a power jam for Montreal. 00.
The Smashers jammer picking up 5 points, going in for her second time, or third jam. Picking up another 5 points. The Divas jammer is now standing in the box, ready to re-enter soon.
Montreal, though, racking up the points. Another 5-point pass there for the Smash Squad. Argyle re-entering the track at turn 2, countering a 4-wall of Smashies, unable to break on past, and the points just keep on coming in for Montreal. Another grand slam. Argyle trying to come down the far straightaway, has a couple of skaters past, but still on that initial pass. It's a devastating jam for Montreal right now.
Kraken Twig getting through the pack again, even though one of her own teammates got in away for a second there, easily slipping by.
Argyle now completing the initial pass for the Divas.
But not before the Smash Squad calls it off.
Timeout being called by the Divas. And a huge jam for Montreal. Take this time to do a quick run through of the Smash Squad roster. Number 00 is Kraken Twig. 1101, Sweet and Innocent. 22, Beetlejuice. 233, Fibonacci. 235, Uwe Charlie. Number 43, Jesus Rice. 588, Raven Wrath. 626, Drop Stitches. 63, Dirty Plot. And 689, Regretta Garbanzo.
It looks like the jammer for the Smash Squad is number, oh, I just saw.
Turn this way.
Well, the jammer for the Divas is number 181, Professor Vex.
Yep, they're taking their position now on the Mill Street start line. But yeah, that jam was a huge 29-0 jam for the Smash Squad.
That's a big lead for the first jam.
That's a big hole for the Divas to get themselves out of.
Smash Squad's rolling up on the other team's butts.
As you do.
Getting low.
Yeah, both teams getting very low here off the start.
Kind of a ready for impact stance.
Both jammers trying to take space up the middle, but with Professor Vex surrounded at the pivot line by Montreal blockers. Montreal's jammer number 43, Jesus Rice, picking up lead. Vex now trying to get around the outside. They are running into some heavy interference of Smashies. Jesus Rice knocked to the outside, neatly pierces the back 4 wall of Divas skaters, and that's a 5-point pass from Montreal, picking up where they left off after the previous jam.
The Divas jammer making their initial pass, just getting through the pack.
Jesus Rice going to go in for one more pass. Puts in the 5 points. And they're going to keep running this one, even though Professor Vex now in scoring position.
And the Divas jammer picking up 4 points.
So Divas get on the board with 4. Scoreboard currently showing 43-4. Just under 16 minutes left in this game. Again, these are abbreviated 20-minute games.
The Smash Squad taking the front wall, trying to form a triangle. Unfortunately, they lost 2 of their skaters, so.
Big burst of speed there by Drop Stitches, number 626, but hot on her wheels is number 1000 kilohertz, who's got the star for the Divas. Both jammers coming in hot at the pivot line.
But the Smash Squad calling it.
And as that jam gets called, Kilohertz came in a little too hot and went over the line into the infield at turn 1. So track cut penalty going to Kilohertz. This will be a power start from Montreal. 47-4, 15 minutes left on the period clock.
The Divas taking the front wall and the Smash Squad taking the back.
Divas were setting up 3 and a friend, and that's actually what they've returned to. Is they've left 1, I believe that's Pikachu. Sorry, it's not Pikachu, that's Hellgirl, number 12. Is trying to run some interference on the Montreal offense.
Having a little bit of trouble reforming their triangle. Jammer getting through, that is number 00, Kraken Twigs. She is now lead jammer and got through on her initial pass.
Montreal running a bit passively because they can on this power jam, but now they're lining up waiting for Kilohertz to return to the track from the penalty box. Hertz back on, trying to take the inside line, knocking down 707 Presto. So number 707 Presto is on the roster for this game after all.
Kraken Twigs trying to get through the pack again for a scoring pass. Looks like she's picked up 5 points. And the Divas jammer, number 1000, Kilohertz also.
Yeah, that was just Kilohertz's initial pass. So at this point in the game, it's 57-4. The Smash Squad in the lead. Still 13 minutes left on the period clock. A lot of time for Montreal to continue to rack up the damage.
The Smash Squad starting off with one of their blockers in the penalty box, forming the triangle in the front.
Seeing the offense come in there from the Divas pivot, opens up the hole. Argyle, number 8055, lead jammer for the Divas. Nice work by number
Jesus Rice getting through with her national pass, coming around, slipped a bit, but back up on her feet and coming towards the pack. Unfortunately, slides out of the track, re-entering.
Yeah, for that collision with Argyle, number 09 on the Smash Squad, picking up a low blocking penalty. I don't have 09 on my roster, but I'm speculating it might be Radical Ed.
The Smash Squad with 2 in the box, although they don't know it yet.
Now they do. We had too many on the track for a second there.
Setting up with only 2 at the front. The Divas jammer getting around them fairly easy, while their own jammer is stuck behind, but gets through.
Yeah, so that's Mina Von Teese with lead jammer status, second consecutive lead going to the Divas. Mina coming around the outside, threading the needle. And that's a 5-point pass for the Divas.
The Smash Squad still with 2 in the box, so they'll have to start off with 2 jammers lining up, 2 blockers lining up on the track. Hopefully they can hold the other team's jammers. Jammer.
(61-17) for Montreal. Yeah, Montreal in orange. Divas in black. Kilohertz taking the outside line. third consecutive lead jammer for Montreal. Bubba Fatale driving the Montreal jammer over the line. For a 0-0 crack and twig, but a forearm penalty going to Bubba Fatale for that contact. And the Divas are going to fill up the box. Kilohertz with another track cutting penalty. All three taking seats right around the same time. So opening up a lot of time and opportunity here for the Smash Squad to take advantage. And right there's a 5-point pass for crack and twig. Helvetica, number 1013 Virus, the only Divas on the track right now. Montreal coming in for the sweep, only going to send 2.
Crack and Twig starting to look kind of tired.
Well,
getting around that track.
All that open skating will add up.
She was having a hard time getting through at the beginning of this jam, but it looks like it's going to be easy sailing from here.
Well, reinforcements coming from the box for the Divas. Bubba Fatale and Pikachu re-entering along with Kilohertz. This jam running the full deuce as Kilohertz had been the lead jammer. And with 4 on the floor, the Divas able to inhibit Crack and Twig just a bit, but not enough. Both jammers putting up 4 spots on their respective passes right now. Kilohertz with a bit of a pirouette at turn 3.
Crack and Twigs trying to push through the pack. And it looks like she successfully got through and picked up 5 points. With the Divas jammer right behind. That was a 2-minute jam.
And now Montreal is going to take a team timeout, and that'll stop the clock with just under 9 minutes left on the period clock. Diva is also going to return to their bench, and they're going to talk some strategy with Swearwolf and Gorshak, the bench staff for the Divas. I'm a Pyro and Artsy Choke are working the bench right now for the Smash Squad. Winner of this game will be taking on Capital City, who won their opening game against Roller Derby Sherbrooke. So that game will be at 1:40. The team that does not win will be taking on Sherbrooke at 2:20 here in Ted Reeve Arena. Hearing some chanting from the Montreal bench. They do their cheer and get themselves psyched up to re-enter play.
Taking the front wall, sitting right up on the pivot line, and then rolling back onto the Divas. It looks like we have 181 jamming for the Divas. That would be Professor Vex, and 43 Jesus Rice for the Smash Squad. It looks like the Divas will be starting with only 3 blockers because 1 is in the box.
Yeah, that's their pivot, Pikachu, in that penalty box. It's coming off the Mill Street start line. Both jammers doing a little bit of recycling, but Wild Rice, who recovers more quickly, sorry, Jesus Rice, my apologies, picking up lead jammer for Montreal. Professor Vex riding the outside line, but not going over it. Still working on completing their initial pass.
Jesus Rice picking up 5 points and coming back around the track pretty fast.
2 wall at the back of Divas, unable to contain Jesus Rice.
Jesus Rice picking up even more speed coming around the track.
Yeah, it was a welcome breeze here at the broadcast table. Takeout there by number 6 Starscream on the recycle on Jesus Rice. Now again recycling to the inside. Jesus Rice, so very quick to recover and re-enter.
Picking up another 5 points is Jesus Rice. Slowing down a bit, but still going pretty fast around that track. 181, Professor Vex finally getting through.
But a big apex jump right behind them by Jesus Rice. completing another scoring pass. That was just the initial for Vex. Vex tries to hop the apex themselves. Doesn't quite land it, though. Has to go back to give it another whirl. Now trying to come around the outside, getting around number 235, Uwe Charlie.
Jesus Rice picking up another 5 points and then re-entering the pack. It looks like a lot of our blockers are now in the box. Only 2 on each team on the track.
Lots of wide open spaces right now, but Montreal continuing to run this one long. Jesus Rice does have lead status.
Professor Vex trying to get through the pack, been knocked out. Came back, getting around before being called.
So 8 points come in on that jam for the Divas. 33 points, though, come in for the Smash Squad. There's a scoreboard adjustment happening. So score with 6:39. Clock is stopped. 117 for the Smash Squad, 38 for the Divas.
Seems the next line for the Smash Squad is setting up out there, doing some breathing exercises, staying cool, staying calm, not letting their points get to their heads.
This is a Divas team timeout. Now, I do note that the scoreboard hasn't been updated because each team already had taken a team timeout, I believe. Now they've made the adjustment on the Divas side, so it is showing that this is their final team timeout. They do still have an official review at their disposal. Montreal, though, had previously taken a team timeout. Scoreboard still shows 2, but when they look at the books, they'll be able to count how many are actually in existence.
Both teams with a blocker each in the box and standing.
So Argyle with the star for the Divas, but with the star for Montreal picking up lead is 6:26, drop stitches. Speaking of drop, Argyle dropping 0-9 to the track, and that is Radical Ed. Quick inside-outside move by drop stitches. Looking over the shoulder to see what's happening back in the pack. Decides going to go back for more.
The Diva setting up a tri-dangle, trying to stop her, but she easily gets through on the inside line.
Yeah, they looked one way. She went the other. Argyle now completing the initial pass. I apologize. That's a scoring pass for the Divas. Again, the Smash Squad going to run this on the long side as long as they maintain the advantage on that seesaw scoreboard.
Drop Stitches calling it off after trying to sneak through the pack, but still gained another 4 points. The Smash Squad with 1 in the box. And the Divas taking the front wall.
Yeah, as the Divas setting up with the triangle on the inside line. Floater is number 6, Starscream on the outside line. And that triangle of orange in the middle, Smashies.
Now, I don't know if you saw that, but Kraken Twigs was so low there lining up. She just snuck right through.
Both jammers break the pack, but it's Mina Von Teese with the lead for the Divas. Divas lining up as though they're going to go for a sweep, and they just try to close the door, but they can't quite get.
2 points each on that last round.
Kraken Twig seems to have inherited the magnetic toe stops of so many Montreal jammers that come before.
Smash Squad with 1 in the box, although they don't know it yet.
Kilohertz on the Mill Street start line for the Divas. Can't quite see yet who we have with the star for Montreal. Kilohertz going to take the outside line. Doesn't quite get through. Trying to follow, but cutting the track is the jammer for Montreal. Is number 09, Radical Ed, taking her first turn with the star.
The Divas now on in Power Jam.
Georgia Grief with some nice offense there, opening up the hole on the inside for Kilohertz to complete that initial. So this is a Divas Power Jam, and boy, do they need one right now. Down by almost 90 points.
The Divas going in for a slow sweep, but successful. Kilohertz able to get through. Looks like the Smash Squad's jammer is now standing.
So that's gonna, since she's still standing, Montreal going for pure defense, but get broken up by the Divas. So another 5-point pass there for Kilohertz. Radical Ed returning to the track, but Kilohertz not gonna call it. This is just the initial pass, and it's another one that doesn't quite work out. Looks like it was a back blocking penalty, so the Power Jam continues for the Divas.
With also one blocker in the box, the Smash Squad is down to only 3 blockers on this Power Jam. Kilohertz making use of that.
Reddy has 15 in the pocket, looking to see what else she can do on this one. The sweep comes in from her teammates, still one to beat to complete that scoring pass. Knocked to the inside, now knocked to the outside.
The Divas jammer, Kilohertz, calling it off after a successful pass, picking up 5 points.
So a huge 20-0 jam for Kilohertz. That'll take him to 64, but Montreal holding at 3:33 with just over 2 minutes on the clock, and you're going to need a few more minutes if you want to try to even put together a bunch of 20-point jams.
The Divas with 2 blockers in the box and the Smashers with 1. And it looks like number 266 is lead jammer. That is Drop Stitches with the Divas jammer, Von Trapp, close behind.
So that's a rare scoreless jam. Both jammer officials showing up closed fists. No points. 1:30 left on the period clock in this one.
Each team with a blocker again in the box.
Timeout being signaled on the track. This is an official timeout. We've got some adjustments to discuss and figure out.
With only 1 minute and 22 seconds left on the clock. Looks like they're just double checking, making sure everything's in line.
Coming up next at 12:20, which is in 4 minutes. So again, expect that to start a little bit behind schedule as we still have time left in this game. We're going to have the Ganaraska Bomb Squad taking on
The Party Toxic Triad.
Oh, I wondered what that
Yes,
insignia was
the,
supposed to represent.
Party and Durham and Lindsay are all together with their fresh meat team today. They've been practicing together for about 2 months.
Okay, so this is actually one of a couple of combos for this game, because we also have Ganaraska Bomb Squad will be made up of Kingston, Belleville, and Northumberland. So they're just confirming that there was a foul out on the Divas side. That was a Boba Fatale. So they just had a bit of a paperwork issue. So Boba Fatale's been sent to the locker room for the remaining minute 22.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
With the Divas to have 2 in the box, starting off with only 2 blockers out on the track. Number 43, Jesus Rice, getting through on her initial pass, gaining lead.
Argyle with the jammer star for the Divas is about a quarter of a lap behind in closing. Argyle coming in around the outside, can't quite get around that triangle, has a couple more to beat on this scoring pass. Again, Montreal going to run it long.
Jesus Rice coming back in on her 4th time, picking up another 4 points. Getting in and out of there pretty easily, picking up some speed.
Points do come in for the Divas. 40 seconds left on the period clock. See what Montreal is going to do. Yeah, they're telling Jesus Rice, just keep it going.
She picks up another 4 points, coming back around. Sliding out of bounds. And Jesus Rice now trying to push through the pack, though getting hit out.
Yeah, it was a big hit by Pikachu, the pivot for the Divas.
Jesus Rice picking up 5 points on that.
Now we have a star pass by the Divas. Pikachu with the star in hand, still trying to get this initial well, actually, it wasn't an initial pass. So with the star in hand, that pass should not convey any points.
Jesus Rice calling it off to end the game. Picking up 5 points.
And indeed, Argyle had picked up the 4, but Pikachu does not pick up any points on that pass because came through the pack with the star still in hand.
The only time you can get away with that is your initial pass. Otherwise, you need to have it on to score any points at all.
Mm-hmm. But the pass itself was executed well by both parties.
I almost didn't see it there. It was so good. Though it did not fool the Smash Squad. They saw it coming and blocked.
So it is going in the books as a 156-68 victory for the Smash Squad from Montreal Roller Derby. That means the Smash Squad is back in action at 140, give or take. They will be taking on the Cannondals from Capital City. The Divas, meanwhile, have another shot at continuing. They'll play at 220 against Roller Derby Sherbrooke's Rebels. And again, coming up next here at Ted Reeve, the Ganaraska Bomb Squad taking on the Party Toxic Triad.
It's sure to be an exciting game.
They all are at Fresh and the Furious. So given that that next game was due to start right now, and it's clearly not going to start right now, stay tuned. Presumably we'll be getting that one underway in anywhere between 5 and 10 minutes from now. Not on there, but there's
She's at a funeral.
okay, but there's another number which is not on this. that is
Oh.
and then for them, those two are these 3.
Yep.
I just cross them out lightly
Yeah,
so
yeah.
they can be read.
No, it's true.
And the mics are live.
I don't have to push a button or anything.
Right. Okay, welcome back to Ted Reeve Arena in the Fresh and Furious 2016. I'm Mr. Whistler.
And I'm Ryan Ginger.
Welcome. This is the 3rd game of the morning here on the Ted Reeve side. We will be seeing the Ganaraska Bomb Squad taking on the Party Toxic Triad.
The first whistle just blew, and it looks like the Bomb Squad came out with lead jammer. We've got Killer Quinn out front.
Following close behind, but not with leads, number 11. That'll be Stevie Stitches wearing the star for Party. Party scoring first, picking up 4, and there's 4 also coming in for Killer Quinn, so it's a draw, going 4 each. Party wearing blue. Sorry,
Nope.
Party wearing black. Ganaraska wearing blue. It's a whirlwind at Fresh and the Furious.
I was about to call it turquoise, but I think blue is going to be easier.
Yeah, or cyan, possibly. New jammers on the Mill Street start line. We'll let you know who they are as soon as they pass us. We're at turn 1. Number 25 is Intoxicate for Party. And wearing the star.
Vivid Nightmare. Oh, Vivid Nightmare went down. There's a little pile of them there.
It's a bit of a pileup at the inside of that apex between
There
turns
you
1
go.
and 2.
There you go. Vivid Nightmare made it through.
Lead jammer, though, is Intoxicate, number 25.
Yep. She's going through the pack right now and calling it.
Very quick work on that one. So that's a 4-0. So that means it's an 8-4 lead for Party. We'll try to get to maybe some quick roster run-throughs between the next couple of jams. Winner of this game will come back at 3 o'clock, and they'll be facing the winner between the Derby Debutantes and the Highland Renegades. That's the next game to happen here at Ted Reeve.
Oh, strong teams right off the bat. Both jammers at the back of the pack again. Both teams doing great. There goes Party. They made the lead jam. We've got number 26, Gwen of Fear. She's out front.
And wearing the star in blue, 5150 Killer Quinn. They're running a shorter jammer rotation here in the early going, but a grand slam coming in for Party. That takes them to double digits. They're at 13. Guinevere going back for more on the far straightaway.
She's through and calling it. Killer Quinn didn't quite make it to the pack that time, so another 4 for Party.
Quick run through of the Party roster for this game. Number 10, Lady Macbeth. 11, Stevie Stitches. 1101, Hits and Bites. 1307, Skittles. 18, Red Bandit. 25, Intoxicate. 26, Guinevere. 27, Solgood. 416, Les Mercy. 666, Abraham Lincoln playing her first game ever. Number 87, Ivy. Number 93, Tequila. 97, Catalina Wine Mixer. There is another skater and did not appear on our roster. If I can tell you who that is later, I will do so. In fact, I believe it's who's jamming right now for Party, number 922.
Oh, there we go. Ganaraska just got through with lead jammer. That's 123. Pain or Shine.
And the jammer for Party, number 922, would appear to be Rowe. But not lead, as the lead is carried here by the Bomb Squad. Hitting the deck and calling it from the infield at turn 4. 2 points, but a steal of a deuce from Party as well. So another draw. That one going 2-2. 19 for Party, 6 for the Bomb Squad, 15.5 minutes plus on the period clock. Again, these are 20-minute games. Abbreviated rules, each team with 2 team timeouts at their disposal and an official review. And it's only 4 penalties, only 4 box trips will lead to a foul out.
Lots of jockeying for position here, but Party brings it out the front. We've got number 11, Stevie Stitches.
Killer Quinn straddling the line, now going to wisely go back to re-enter. But Stevie Stitches already on a scoring pass, has lead jammer status as well. Now knocked to the outside by number, who was that? I think that was number 16, a Brooklyn Brawler from Ganaraska. And that's a scoreless jam. So a quick run through of the Ganaraska Bomb Squad roster. Number 123, Painter Shine. 16, Brooklyn Brawler. 168, Little Miss Slam Shine. 215, Cyclone. 221, Stevie Kicks. 23, Tiny Bubbles. Number 3, Crash RX. Number 4, Bubbles the Brave. A couple of bubbles on this roster. 40 is a Vivid Nightmare. 44, Meg for Mercy. 511, Fancy to Pum. 5150, Killer Quinn. 80, Glittering Guts. 91, Chickaboom. And 984, Roxy Roller. Jam is underway. Someone's lost a toe stop.
It's Intoxicate who took the lead from Party. She's out front, and Vivid Nightmare is pushing her way through the pack for the Ganaraska Bomb Squad. Intoxicate's coming around her first trip back into the pack. She's making a scoring pass.
And it's Vivid Nightmare who appears to be the one who lost the toe stop off the start. Not sure if she's realized that yet.
Intoxicate's been through the pack once. Vivid Nightmare still pushing her way through. There we go. She makes it out of the pack with Intoxicate right behind her.
4-point pass for Intoxicate. Vivid Nightmare now looking to pick up points for her team as well. Intoxicate calling it. Doesn't pick up any points herself, but 2 points there taken by Vivid Nightmare. And toe stop and washer being delivered by the NSO back to the bench, so they're going to do some skate maintenance.
That really is the worst when you lose part of your gear.
And toe stop's so integral to not only your agility, but your safety, anything that you need to do, any juking and jiving.
Yes, exactly. Okay, whistle's gone. Jockeying for position. Both teams of blockers are doing a fantastic job keeping those jammers back. There goes number 26. Oh, no. Boy, jammers are neck and neck, but the Ganaraska Bomb Squad has the lead, just called it.
Yeah, Killer Quinn deciding not to go for the jammer race. So another scoreless jam. Still a 20-point lead for Party. Toxic Triad is up 28-8. Just over 12 minutes left on the period clock.
Looks like we've got Rue jamming for Party and Pain or Shine jamming for Ganaraska Bomb Squad, and a timeout's being called. Oh, they thought that it was the go signal, but it was a timeout.
Yeah, looks like an official timeout being signaled. Very brief one, though.
Everyone's back into position.
So it's a 4-2 pack advantage for Party to get this one underway. So Party, sorry, a 3-2 pack advantage. Party lining up at the back. The two Ganaraska blockers up at the front. Rowe getting taken out to the inside by number 16, Brooklyn Brawler. And a track cutting penalty for each jammer.
Oh, wow, both jammers in the box now.
So Rowe is going to take that seat first. And as soon as she gets seated and comfortable, being joined by Pain or Shine. So it will be a quick jammer do-si-do. So one has been released. There's Rowe, and here comes Pain or Shine. Going to have a 2-minute jam here.
Nice sweeping done by Party there. We've got Rue out front. This will be a 2-minute jam because neither one of them has lead jammer because they both got penalties there.
Pain or Shine doing some toe stop work. There's a case for toe stops, very integral to the movement. Coming around the outside, completing the initial pass. Now we're seeing some wrist guards disintegrate on the track. It's already been a bit of a bruising game for equipment here.
Rue's out front again, so she's made it through the pack. Pain or Shine coming through, but oh, just went down on a knee there. Great work by the Toxic Triad for keeping that jammer back. Oh, Rue's going back to the penalty box again, so their jammer is, the Party jammer's going back to the penalty box.
Red Bandit also going to the penalty box for a destruction call.
Pain or Shine now has a power jam, and this is a great opportunity for the Bomb Squad. The score is 12-32 right now, so they could pick up a few points and get closer to Party.
Les Mercy with the takeout onto the jammer, but Pain or Shine back up in a hurry. Now Skittles dropping Pain or Shine to the infield.
And that signals the end of the jam.
2 more points came in. Timeout being signaled. It's a team timeout.
Getting those wrist guards back together. It's been quite a trip for blowing off equipment in this one.
I want to thank St. John's Ambulance for providing the medical staff here on boat tracks all day long at Fresh and the Furious.
It is an amazing and necessary service, so we're happy to have them.
And as always, we hope they have absolutely nothing to do today.
We hope they just get to enjoy Derby.
That's why they take the gig, quite frankly.
I think so. I mean, this could be 12 hours of derby for them. That is a pretty sweet deal.
Yeah. Scoreboard showing 32 for Party, 14 for the Bomb Squad. Pretty much halfway through this game. Jammer refs are swapping roles as we do for the 20-minute game.
The Party Toxic Triad has 3 in the box, the Jammer and 2 others. And so they're starting on a power jam for the Ganaraska Bomb Squad with only 2 blockers for Party. So this is a good opportunity again for the Bomb Squad to pick up a few extra points. Some nice juking, deking around. And it looks like Killer Quinn just made it through. Lead Jammer and another for Party is going in for a penalty. So
yeah, that's Guinevere. Guinevere wearing the pivot stripe. I was about to say look for a possible star pass when Rue comes out of the box, but that can't happen because there goes the pivot. So very quick jam there. 4 points come in for the Bomb Squad. That takes them to 18. And this is a very full box, it looks like right now, for Party. They've got 2 seated, 1 standing, so they're going to have to start this one with a single solitary blocker on the track, and that's going to be number 1307, Skittles. Skittles, arms in the air like,
ready.
Bring it on.
Bring it, Vivid Nightmare, bring it. Indeed, Vivid Nightmare just took the lead Jammer for Ganaraska Bomb Squad.
But very nice move by Skittles, recognizing that the Jammer coming back on the track, Intoxicate, needed just a wee bit of offense. Quickly re-engages with the pack, helps bring the Jammer on the initial pass.
And that's 4 more points for the Bomb Squad and no points on that pass for Party. So it looks like we're at 22 for the Bomb Squad, 32 for Party.
The officials are calling a timeout.
This is a really well-matched game. I've personally played with players from both of these teams, and I'm super excited for everyone who's playing. They all have a very similar level of play, so it's a really good game to watch, to see them all trying to figure out what strategy to use against the other team.
And this is the first time, Ryan Ginger, that you and I are meeting. Where are you hailing from?
Well,
if you've played with people on both of these sides.
I know, right?
Which are already mixed teams.
It's been an exciting year. I've been playing roller derby in Kingston for several years.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But this year I played with Ganaraska. I played with Rue from Party, actually came to Ganaraska and played that game. And then 2 weeks later I played with Lindsay roller derby. And so it's an exciting mix of people, and I've played with many of them. It's
clearly you're making the rounds.
It's it's fun to be a free agent.
Yes. So well done on that front.
So it looks like we've got Killer Quinn for the Ganaraska Bomb Squad as the Jammer, and I can't quite see who the Party Jammer is.
It may be Lady Macbeth. I'm trying to get a better look at the armband.
Once they get over here. Oh, Killer Quinn made it through for lead Jammer.
And it's actually Stevie Stitches. Stevie Stitches, about half a lap behind, has completed the initial pass. A little bit of passive offense here from Ganaraska. Works out. That's a 4-point pass, another one for the Bomb Squad. And just like that, Ginger, down only by 6 points.
It is amazing how quickly you can catch up again, especially 4 points at a time. Like, this hasn't been a power jam that's caught them up. This is a pretty impressive, solid plan to take 4 points at a time and get your way back up there.
Yeah, the previous 2 games here in the arena so far today, relatively speaking, blowouts on the scoreboard, much bigger gaps. So it's you never know what you're going to get at a tournament like this. People coming from different leagues with different levels. A forearm penalty off the start there being issued to number 123, Painter Shine. So power jam opportunity here for Party. Lead Jammer going to number 18, Red Bandit. So looking to see if Party can stem a bit of the momentum that the Bomb Squad had on the previous few jams.
So So as we're coming in, Red Bandit does some juking and gets around all the blockers for the Ganaraska Bomb Squad. Picked up 5 points right there.
No pack called, so they have to reform quickly. Illegal procedure penalty being signaled. Haven't seen anybody go off for it as of yet. Looks like it was actually to the pivot, number 80 on Ganaraska. That's Glitter and Guts. Red Bandit with the 5-point pass.
Painter shines out of the box, having a hard time getting past Intoxicate, but I think just made it. So she's on her first, this will be her first time around. Scoring pass to come, but it's being called off. Good job, Party.
And the scoring pass not to be. And yes, a big jam indeed for Party. 14-0. Just like that, they are now up by 20 points. 46-26, 6 minutes left in the game. So seeing the Bomb Squad setting up for this one with the triangle up at the front. Again, their pivot in the box. A rear four wall of Party skaters.
We've got Stevie Stitches jamming for the Toxic Triad, and she's pushing her way through. It looks like she may have just, yep, lead jammer. There she is. Looks like Killer Quinn is trying to make her way through with some great blocking by the Toxic Triad, and Stevie Stitches just snuck through for a 5-point jam.
Yeah, the Triad's
pass.
blocking there was just a little too tight because they picked up a multiplayer block from Lady Macbeth, taking a seat in the penalty box. Killer Quinn completing the initial pass. Jam called by Stevie Stitches, though, in front of the benches. That's good for another 4.
The Toxic Triad obviously saw the Bomb Squad sneaking up on them, and they pulled it up. They pulled everything together, and they have had a couple of great jams here.
55-26, 4.5 minutes roughly on the period clock. Over on the other track, we just had an unofficial final between South Simcoe Rubber Rollers 113 and the Neophytes 33. Bit of a battle from the north.
Ooh, a good wipeout. Oh, there's a cutting penalty happening right now. Intoxicate from the Toxic Triad. The jammer for this one has just taken the bench. So Vivid Nightmare. Is also taking a penalty. My goodness.
Yeah, Intoxicate on that knockout at turn 2, I think was anticipating that it would have been a no pass, no penalty situation. However, the track cut was called instead.
She's stuck in the pack and stuck good.
Bouncing off a number 16 Brooklyn Brawler.
Same spot, same blocker.
Yep, that turn 2 is a bit of a nemesis right now for Intoxicate, but...
Well, we've got Vivid Nightmare coming up to the pack. Intoxicate has another penalty.
And I think it might have been for that same knockout that we just talked about at turn 2. As it took a while, the jammer ref was chasing her down, trying to deliver that penalty information. So it very well may have been at that same location.
Well, it looks like a power jam for Vivid Nightmare, except a cutting call was just given to Vivid Nightmare, and so this is the second time in the box for both these jammers on this jam alone.
Exactly, and with over 20 seconds left on the period clock, let's hope nobody's trying to go for number 3, but you never know.
Well, and remember that you only get 4 trips to the box per game, and if that's 2 in one jam, I mean, I can't remember, but they have to be getting close.
Yeah, I can't see the whiteboard from where we are seated. We don't have access to live stats, unfortunately, but that's all well and good. Jam time runs out. Vivid Nightmare puts up 5 points.
Excellent work. 2 points for Intoxicate.
So for 7 total on that one for Party. So that jam goes 7-5. Currently exactly doubling the Bomb Squad is Party. They are up at 62. Bomb Squad 31. 2 minutes left on the game clock.
Happily, no one in the box to start off this jam, so we'll see how this one goes. Full roster of blockers out there, and it looks like Party just pulled out in the front. We've got Guinevere taking the lead jammers.
Painter Shine knocked to the ground right in front of us here at the broadcast table. Re-entering the track, though.
There she goes. She's made it through. But Guinevere is already on her scoring pass. It'll be interesting to see what they do here. She's calling it. It's always interesting to see what kind of strategy the girls have or the players have at the Fresh and the Furious, because it's, again, it's all new players. And so, you know, you want to know if they have the strategy to call it when they need to. So far, I've seen really good things.
Well, exactly. And for instance, we had Abraham Lincoln playing her first game ever, was just on that last jam and doing some fine work in the pack, engaging with the bomb squad, diffusing a situation potentially, if I may be allowed to make such a terrible pun.
I'll laugh in case everyone else is groaning.
Thank you. Coming off the Mill Street start line, picking up lead, number 18, Red Bandit for Party.
Killer Quinn for the bomb squad was just knocked out. She's starting at the back of the pack, but here she goes. She's out of the pack.
Yeah, getting knocked down. Killer Quinn was, that was happening courtesy of Les Mercy, who picked up a high blocking penalty for that interaction. Red Bandit calls it from outside.
But not until after the bomb squad just got 4 points on that one. They needed that.
Huge steal of 4 points, a single point from Party.
We're at the unofficial final already.
Time runs out. Nobody calls the time to stop the clock there. 32 points would have been a tall order. We did see a 33-point jam in the previous game between Montreal and the Divas, but those are few and far between.
So it looks like the final score is 67 for Party and 35 for the bomb squad.
Yep, it is going in the books as that score. So what this means, Party with that victory will be back in action at 3 o'clock. The bomb squad is going to be back in action at 3:40. Both of these teams against opponents to be determined. One will play the winner between the GTA Derby Debutantes, and the other will play, and that'll be Party playing the winner of that game, sorry. Ganaraska will face the other team between the Derby Debutantes and the Highland Renegades. Because that game is coming up next in just a few minutes between Gitar and the Highland Renegades, another mix-up team.
Those are sometimes the best because you see each of the players figuring out how to play with people they're not used to playing with.
And it's that right there is so important to the development, I think, of all skaters, is not just how to play with the people you face, you're dealing with most often, but how you can kind of draw on the experience of people from all these other places that are all training independently and training in different styles with different goals. There's a lot of really good things that you can pick up at a weekend like this as well.
Absolutely. This is great for player development.
So that next game scheduled for 1 o'clock. May start a little bit past 1 o'clock, hopefully not too much past 1 o'clock.
We are trying to get right back on schedule, so it's 12:57 right now. I think they're hoping to get started at about 1:05. They were looking to make up a little bit of time on the gap between games here.
Well, with that, I'm going to take a leave for a little bit. I've been Mr. Whistler.
And I've been Ryan Ginger. You'll hear from me during the next game.
All right.
Hello, everyone. We're back at Ted Reeves Arena with Awesomeness and
Ryan Ginger.
And we have the Derby Debutantes and the Highland Renegades coming up next.
Yeah, so it looks like we're 2 minutes to starting. Ooh, they're pulling off. They could be starting anytime now. We were trying to stay on schedule for 1:05. It's currently 1:07. We've got the Derby Debutantes in pink And we've got the Highland Renegades in black.
Skating for the Derby debutantes is 2187 BB Skate, 250 The Situation, 3 Ruby Bruce Day, 3112 Lord Roldemont, 355 Trent Mesher, 360 Funk Rollman. Oh! And it looks like we may be starting soon, so let's try to get this going. 505 C3KO, 606 Pocket Rocket, 624 Malice in Wonderland, 75 Frankie Hardy, 83 Sugar Plum Scary, 9 Nazi Cruel, and 21 Blast Attack. And on the bench, Make Killer the Hun and Splat Benatar.
Nice. And here we go. It looks like we're ready for the first jam to start. We've released the jammers, and they are fighting their way through the pack. It does look like the Derby debutantes have taken the lead.
That is number 3, Ruby Bruise Day. And our Highland Renegades is now through.
Genitalia, number 80. Here she comes, but it's been called off by Ruby Bruise Day. 3 points for the pink team, no points for black. We've got one of the debutantes in the box, so they're starting with a short jam line.
With the Highland Renegades taking the front line. It looks like they may be going for a full D kind of defense.
And everyone is fighting through the pack. It is a tough pack.
But it looks like the Renegades is out, number 8008.
Broomkilda takes lead jammer, and it looks like C3KO for the Derby debutantes still hasn't made, just made it through.
That's her initial pass, while the other jammer has picked up points.
Broomkilda makes it through and has decided to keep going.
With 5 points put on the board.
C3KO is trying to get through the pack again for the debutantes. Broomkilda fighting her way through. Oh, C3KO almost made it through, but it went down, and she's taking a beating from the black team.
Broomkilla going through the pack again, picking up 5 points. C3KO just making it through, picking up her first 4 points. Broomkilla on her tail, catching up.
We've got 2 jammers neck and neck. Broomkilda is going to go for a few more points here. Not calling it.
Picking up another 5 points while
C3KO is still fighting her way through. Mountain Douche just knocked her out.
Broomkilla going through once again, picking up another 4 points. Just killing it this jam.
Here comes C3KO and making it through. Getting 5 points there. Broomkilda calls it off. The score right now looks like the Derby debutantes are at 15 with the Highland Dames up at 27. That was a really good jam for Broomkilda.
It looks like the debutantes will be starting off with a power jam because the Highland Renegades has their jammer in the box along with 2 of their blockers.
Full box for the Highland Renegades there.
Ruby Bruise Day getting through the pack fairly easily, making her way around the track.
Ooh, and the Highland Renegades lose another blocker to the box. One comes out, one goes in.
Ruby Bruise Day taking quite a beating, but getting through, not letting it knock her out.
It was a great effort by the Highland Renegades considering they only have 2 blockers on the track right now.
It looks like the opposing jammer has re-entered the pack.
Broomkilde fighting her way through. This is her second jam in a row since she fouled out of her, well, not fouled out, it got a penalty. I should watch my language there. Too early in the game to foul out.
Ruby Bruised calling it off before
Broomkilde can get any more points. And that was a great jam by Ruby Bruised. They are now 25 points to the Highland Dames 27. Very close game. It looks like this will be an interesting match for sure.
The Highland Renegades have one in the box, so they'll be starting off with only 3, taking the front line.
Oh, Black Jammer gets through, gets out. Who do we have there? Slap shot. And the Red Jammer is C3KO again. So slap shot for the Highland Renegades is the lead jammer. She just went through and got 4 points. C3KO is fighting her way through and is also through for another 4 points. So far,
the debutante's trying to just use a regular wall to stop her. Doesn't seem to be working too well.
And she calls it before C3KO can get any more points. It's an extra 4 points for the Highland Dames.
Ruby Bruised coming out to jam for the debutantes.
And we've got number 80, Genitalia. Right, that one, you know, the derby names are so funny. Genitalia is out for the Highland Renegades as the jammer.
I gotta say, my personal favorite off this list is Pocket Rocket.
You know, goes well with the genitalia.
It certainly does.
Wow, all of this before 2 in the afternoon. There we go. We've got genitalia out front.
Ruby Bruised closely following behind, picking up speed. And already one of our girls from the debutantes is being sent to the box.
They are fighting their way through this pack. Oh, there we go. We've got a penalty for number 80, Genitalia. She was the lead jammer, and she is not now. It means that this will be a 2-minute jam.
Ruby Bruised with a power jam, making it through, picking up 5 points. The debutantes will have a power jam for a full 30 seconds.
It's interesting to see the kind of moves that the new players make when it comes to these things. We're on a power jam, and it looks like they're trying to do a bit of a sweep.
A little lack of communication there. Nobody knew exactly what side they were sweeping, but in the end it works.
You know what? You gotta try stuff out. That's what's great about this tournament, is that you see those kind of moves where people are trying out their new strategies and seeing how it works.
Genitalia re-entering the track and fighting her way through the pack quite aggressively and making it through, it looks like.
There she goes.
And I believe she picks up points. Yes, 4 points for the Highlanders.
At the same time, we've got 4 points for Ruby Bruised. You can't call it, though. She's trying to, but she needs to keep going. It's a full 2-minute jam. This is where they're learning, too. They're learning that when you're not the lead jammer, you can't call it.
About 10 seconds left in the jam. If they could just keep going.
Score is 43-43. This is an interesting one for sure. Oh, sorry, that was at the last trip through. It's 47-2. Yeah, still 43. No points on at the very end there for the the Renegades. Sorry.
We're at 12 minutes now in this game, and it's a very close score almost the whole entire time.
These are very well-matched teams. This is a very exciting game. They're figuring out that both teams have one in the box, and both teams have one standing in the box, so less than 10 seconds to go on those penalties.
And it looks like the debutantes have put out a new jammer. The black jammer gets through. That is slap shot. The debutantes send out 91.
Blast attack. And both jammers are coming around. Here comes slap shot. She's trying to get through. Will she call it? No, she will not. So it looks like blast attack is going to try and make her way through.
Blast attack was pushed out of the pack. It's now coming back through the coming back through the back. Well, Slapshot is then re-entering, and it seems like she took a few girls out on that enter.
Sure did. She's struggling to get through.
Blast Attack re-approaching the back of the pack.
But Slapshot calls it off. That was some great defense by the Derby debutantes on that one. They really held back Slapshot.
And they're still really close in points, being tied 51-51.
This is a great game. The last game was very close too, with some tie jams as well. So it's these are some great teams that are up against each other.
Especially since our first two games were such huge leads. It's very exciting to see such close scores.
These are the Derby games that are really fun to watch, when you see them equally matched and struggling to get through, learning new techniques from the other team as they go.
It looks like
Broomhilda
sneaks through the pack while one of the girls was distracted. Meanwhile, number 75 from the debutantes, Frankie Hardy, gets through.
Oh, Broomhilda's fighting her way. There she is.
Able to sneak by number 624 and calls it off before the debutantes can score points. It is 55 to 51 for the Highland Dames. It looks like the Highlanders have one in the box. They're going to take the front wall.
We are halfway through this game. There's 9 minutes to go. No one's called any timeouts yet.
A very exciting match. 4 points between the two now. And it looks like C3KO gets out of the pack, but not before the Black Jammer.
Genitalia from the Renegades is the lead jammer here. She's coming in hot. And she's hitting a wall. Good wall by the Derby debutantes. C3KO very nearly made it through, but the Highland Renegades are forming a wall in front of her.
Genitalia is able to sneak by and get through the pack.
With C3KO right on her tail. 4 points each. We'll see where this goes.
Genitalia meeting the wall, knocking some girls over. And she gets
back
called.
block. That looked like a back block to me. I'm not exactly sure, but definitely we're down to a power jam for the debutantes.
C3KO, hard name sometimes, just makes it out of the pack with 4 points. Their pivot is also in the box for the debutantes.
It's a power jam, but the debutantes didn't have lead jammers, so it's going to be the full 2 minutes on this jam. We've got another 44 seconds to go. She pushes her way through. 59 to 59. What a game.
Genitalia joining the pack again.
Again, we're going through the full 2 minutes, so this is a time for both teams. Genitalia's pulled out of the pack and scored points, and so has C3KO.
20 seconds, left in the jam. Genitalia re-entering the pack and getting through. C3KO gets through as well with no resistance.
We're not seeing a lot of defense right now from either team, so it's definitely an interesting jam.
I think there may have been some confusion with somebody who had to go to the box there. Few laughs being exchanged with the NSOs.
They're just tallying the points from that jam, but it certainly looks like a close game still, with 68 for the Derby debutantes and 69 for the Highland Dames.
Ruby Bruisday coming out to jam for the debutantes and Broomkilla for the Highlanders.
Oh, is it, or is it Slapshot?
Oh, sorry, that is Slapshot.
It looks like we're on a timeout. This is actually a great time for us to go through. We only went through the roster of the Derby debutantes, but I'll go through the Highland Renegades. We have 29, Mountain Douche. We've got 313, Scarlucia. Number 4 is Poison Ivy. 42 is, Carantula. There we go. 53, Legendary. Sorry, with the capitals there. They're so coy, these girls. Number 6 is Brenema. 69 is Rebel Riot. Number 7 is May Cumona. 79 is Ms. Scarier. 795 is Valhalla. We've got 80, Genitalia. She's been jamming an awful lot this game. 8008 is Broom Kilda, also a fantastic jammer. 86 is Ali Capone. And number 9, also jamming, Slapshot. On the bench, we've got Carrie DeWay and Damon Starr.
Seems that the debutantes have 2 in the box, leaving only 2 blockers out there, taking the front wall.
There is 1 blocker in the box for the Highland Renegades as well, though, so both teams a little bit short.
The jammer's pretty back from the jam line, taking a running hit.
Oh, we've got Slapshot coming out.
And Ruby Bruceday on her tail.
So Highland Renegades has the lead jammer, but it's a close one. Both jammers coming up fast. There we go. And there we go. No resistance for either one of them. 4 and 4. 5 points for Slapshot.
I think it's 4 and 4.
Yeah.
I would assume.
There we go. Yeah, I know it. I just saw the thumb of the jammer ref there. So everyone is everyone's learning here at this tournament. Everyone's fresh, including us.
Slapshot calling that jam. Both jammers were getting through with almost no resistance that jam. Quite surprising.
Yeah, I don't know if everyone's getting tired. We have about 6 minutes to go in this. Again, only 20-minute games, though, so hopefully they still have some stamina. It's going to be a very long day for the skaters.
And a very hot day as well, as we've mentioned before. It is really hot in the arena today, and even hotter in the bubble next door.
We've got the Derby debutantes with 76 right now, the Highland Dames at 81. A really close match. Broom Kilda is trying to not get a penalty. Went out, was about to go back in and cut it. She did cut. She tried to go on her knees, but she cut too soon.
Frankie Hardy with her initial pass done and now has a power jam with only 2 debutante blockers out there to help her. Luckily, the Highlanders also have a blocker in the box.
There we go. Naz Krul has come out to help with the blocking, and they're trying to do a bit of a sweep. But I think they've decided they should just lay low and see if there's a no pack.
Trying to cause a no pack situation can be a little difficult at times. Don't know when to hold it and when to go for it.
Frankie Hardy has a chance. Get up. Go, girl. You're going to do it. There she goes. You've got this. You've got this.
And it looks like Broom Killa on her tail, passing her. She still has the lead, though, and she calls it off before she can come in and take any points.
Naz Krul going back to the box for Derby debutantes.
For those of you who don't know, when a jammer is sent to the box, she can no longer have lead, so even if she passes the girl with the lead, she can no longer steal it.
It looks like all the blockers are jockeying for position at the pivot line this time. Trying something new. And a timeout's been called.
They're really kind of the both of them are really just kind of going for a go fast and hit hard kind of strategy, it seems like. A lot of the girls tend to stay low and slow and want to control that pack, but they just keep speeding up and hitting harder.
It's definitely something that you see more in the fresh games. They'll learn to control that pack better as their Derby careers carry on. So right now we're on a timeout. The score for the Derby debutantes is 80. Highland Dames have 81. It's just neck and neck. We have 3 minutes, 50 seconds to go in this game, and I can't even begin to predict how it will turn out. Right now in the timeout, I suspect they're discussing their defense strategies. I've noticed in the last couple of jams that the jammers have gone through almost untouched. You'll see the teams trying to pick that up for the last 3.5 minutes here.
It seems early in the day, but for some of us, it seems like it's already been a full day itself. It is really hot and tiring here in the arena.
It is. It's sticky, and we're just sitting here talking. I can't even imagine what it's like for the players right now.
Some of these girls have been here since close to 9 o'clock this morning getting ready. So
Timeout's over, and it looks like Slapshot has made it through as lead jammer for Renegades. But right on her tail is Blast Attack for the Derby Debutantes. The blockers are waiting, and here they come. Ooh, Slapshot does some nice deking around, but so does Blast Attack. Excellent jamming by these teams.
both of them are picking up quite a bit of speed and then just attacking in that pack. Slapshot jukes around and just makes it through without any resistance at all. Meanwhile, the Debutante's jammer seems to have picked up a penalty. It's another...
Last attack is going to the box.
It's another power jam.
Slapshot's coming, trying to get past Ruby Bruisday.
Ruby doing really well as a pivot here today, making some big hits and some big moves.
She really has shown her versatility, playing all the different roles, a blocker, a jammer. She's been pretty fantastic. But Slapshot makes it through again. She's on a power jam and she is getting as many points as she can. Here she comes, her jammers, or her blockers helping her out. 795, Valhalla just cleared the pack for her. See what this one is. This one's a sweep on the inside, a very organized defense by Highland Renegades. They've done a great job.
The Debutantes slowing down their jammer a bit. Valhalla pushing through just to mess with them, just let their jammer through.
And that is the end of the jam right before Blast Attack has come back on and was about to get to the pack again. Both jammers out of the box. In fact, no one's in the box right now, which is a great way to end the game. Right now, though, it looks like the score for the Debutantes is 88 to the Highland Dames 113. That power jam really hurt those Debutantes.
We have just over 1 minute left on the clock.
This could be the last jam. It may not. It depends on the strategy of both teams. We've got Broomkilda coming through for the Highland Renegades.
And C3KO for the Debutantes, trying to make her way through.
Broomkilda is the lead. C3KO is taking up the back of the pack, but is getting beaten up by the Renegades blockers.
Broomkilda picking up speed and just
sliding
out.
Knocked out at turn 2. Comes to the back of the pack. Safest way to go back in.
Trying to use Valhalla to get around one of the girls. Unfortunately, they saw that coming.
C3KO is getting close to the front, trying to get past 53. Legendary.
Broomkilda getting out with another 5 points. C3KO still struggling in the back of the pack to get through. Broomkilda reapproaching the pack at quite a speed, but slowing down a bit.
1 minute left on this jam clock. Period 1 has, or the whole game has 24 seconds left, so we'll see how this turns out.
C3KO coming back to the pack with Broomkilda on her butt.
And you know what? Great defense by both teams. They've both picked it up. They're holding those jammers back in a fantastic way.
Giving it their all for their last jam of this game.
Broomkilda is, just about to sneak through, but not so much. We've got 30 seconds left in this jam. Score of 88 for the Debutantes to 122 for the Highland Dames, and Broomkilda calls it off.
The Highland Dames will be playing again as the winners of this at 3 o'clock, while the Derby Debutantes will be at 3:40.
Our unofficial final is 92 to 125. That's for the Highland Dames. We'll see if they make that the official. Either way, it appears the Highland Dames have definitely taken the lead on this one. The teams are lining up for the high fives.
Really just quite a great game to watch, to play. That was really close for a long time there.
It was close for a very long time. So indeed, they didn't flash up the final, but it looks like it was 92 for the Debs, 125 for the Dames. Looking forward to seeing these teams play again this afternoon. So we're going to sign off for now. This is Ryan Ginger.
And Awesomeness.
And we will likely talk to you later on. There will be other announcers for all the other games. We're about to find out how that's going to go.